La vie de l'esprit, nuit. Oui, le fleuve du vivant déborde la foi. Est-ce le Nil, peut-être l'estuaire d'un fleuve autre? Nous nous réunissons sur la passerelle, cernés par l'au-dessus et l'en-dessous. Ces constellations inimaginables. Le bateau à moteur chemine. Houle, fait le hibou, dans le cliquetement des chauves-souris. La rivière se débat quand la mer l'enlace. Un dragon votif, phénix de soie sur cette eau. Une locomotive à vapeur. Et l'étoile du chien et l'île aux chiens. Et les cieux posés sur les eaux. Life of the mind, night. Yes, this vessel outstreams fate. This might be the Nile or another mouth. We gather on the deck between above and under. All the unimagined constellations. The steamer forges. Blue goes the owl and the ticking bats, churning where the river meets the sea. The votive dragon, phoenix stitched of silk and not of fire on the water locomotive, and the dog star and the Isle of Dogs, and heaven upon the waters.
L'accélérateur d'intensité. L'âge bougeait en nous. Mystère des acteurs quand ils se déshabillaient. Et, déshabillés comme des anges, ils respiraient. Le cinéma captait les êtres et les choses lentes, remettait à leur place les étoiles dans le ciel de la nuit. Il faisait noir. Les images grimpaient en nous. Couché quelque part sur la terre, je respire pour toi. L'air est-il un missile? Les larmes coulent comme la pensée, parce que la terre est ronde. Elles voyagent avec moi, elles voyageront. Cela fut prouvé par moi, seul depuis que je t'ai vu. Ta tête sur mon épaule comme celle d'une vedette. Brûler d'amour, c'est le cinéma dans ses crimes les plus parfaits. Le temps, parce que les autres luttaient, nous aimait comme des animaux trop grands. La mer arrivait, les images gonflaient. Le vieux ciel gardait sa place. Nous nagions dans leurs rêves, nus, salés, bleus. Quelqu'un de chair et d'air regardait l'écran, qui restait grand ouvert alors que le corps léchait ses énigmes. Le cœur sur l'écran, le sang dans les images. La mémoire faisait des trous et la réalité coulait. Périssable, je sus l'histoire d'amour de partout. L'infini cacherait une couleur, puis une autre, puis une autre, puis une autre. Les ombres que j'ai vues de toi au cinéma me restent encore collées aux cheveux. la même tension, la même fatigue en me tournant trop tôt vers toi. Le ciel paraît flatteur un jour, puis un autre jour. Un autre jour, une autre nuit. Si près de la lumière que je tremble dans tes pensées. Je suis très loin en train de te regarder vivant. Et avec mon âme incomplète, je te permets d'ignorer le mot guerre, puis encore le mot paix. Moi, avec ma tête pleine de langues slaves et de tatouages qui dansent, rien de plus que le désordre. Tu penses pouvoir parler l'amour avec des choses plantées dans la gorge.
Apartment hunting the plateau. Dancer, painter, cellist, 2 engineers, and an overripe woman with pears for teeth. Offered a smoke, borrowed $1 in return. No decisions yet. One pleasant surprise, Marc's midnight call. All's well, though TO's all flash and straw. Talk of screenwriting/money. Leave poetry behind. We are neither of us career poets, she says, slipping your number in. I leave it floating in the still warm breeze to let the winds of fate decide. Harmless, harmless. I sing myself to sleep, and yet I cannot say your name. Wake to the sun. Chaton mulling a sparrow on the porch next door, where the women fuck so descriptively I want to yell, doucement, ma clitoris. But where does the accent fall? La langue française eludes me even more than English, and who can I ask? The women rarely come up for air. And Sylvia crafts harnesses and whips of leather. I'll fit you one. Who can I tell? I've never seen the apparatus, never mind one harnessed between my thighs. Just 2 days. Already my innocence is threatened. My island fades. Fickle self, apartment hunting the plateau. My heart at home with L. Who knows where my head is? My body's desire, a mystery to me. Elbows cold on marble. The 3rd day of September, and already the air bristles. Despite myself, I slip a quarter into the phone, and before this bowl of cafe au lait empties, you'll sit eye to eye. No place to hide. Will I recognize your eyes, mine, your words? Will they explode my ears or melt like chocolate on my tongue? Not yet here, I'm thinking tongue, thinking fingers running through hair, thinking aubergine, too delicious. I will not sip my coffee, will not move my hands, will not look up. But then the sun arrives, morning glory unfolds its silk, a powdery trembling as the door swings open wide.
Speaking of stealing cars and running them off into the quarry to collect the insurance money, I ran into your father, your real father. It's so embarrassing, the cutesy pet names adult lovers adopt. I called her Pookie and Snook, and she called me Horseface and the human wallet. Oh, Snook, we bought so much lawn furniture. Then, making my plans to move down south, I stopped stooping from the weight of that shame. I sold my hockey cards, even Bobby Orr. I sold my wood carvings, even Bobby Orr. Yes, money poured in like gravy at the rap party for The Biggest Loser. I thought a red truck and a beagle named Steve were all any sensible Texan would want. I asked her, am I being vain or stupid? She said, sweetie, it's like when you asked if I found you ugly on the outside or on the inside. It really isn't an either-or situation.
C'est une blessure qui s'engraine dans le temps et que la main tente de saisir en peignant un petit carré rouge. Cette figure risque une couleur, seule et redoutable, dont le choc et la densité font obstacle au souffle, au mouvement de l'air. Elle contient l'arrachement du jour dans le regard d'un enfant. Soudain, il n'y a plus que ça dans l'œil, du rouge. Les vaisseaux gonflés du globe dégagent une chaleur irrépressible, une chaleur de deuil solaire. La mort charcute le spectre et impose la seule couleur qui puisse la nourrir. Mon regard voudrait aller au-devant, mais il n'a plus la force de faire cavalier seul. Échauffé par l'absence, il s'enroule sur lui-même et se laisse choir. Cet enfoncement ravage toute tentative d'échange ou de chant. Les anges ont déguerpi depuis longtemps. Cela commence par le nez, puis cédant à la pression, les yeux aussi se mettent à ruisseler de rouge. Tout remonte sans distinction, reflue dans la gorge saisie par l'âcreté de cette crue. Submergés, les tympans font jaillir un silence salin. Les pores rubescents exsudent de violence. Tant de souffrance insoupçonnée me noiera. Mon corps est une statue de plâtre qui suinte de sang. La chair presse ses jours sombres dans l'espoir d'extirper l'abandon et la lâcheté qui l'assaille depuis jeunesse. Lente descente. Les étroites coulées gagnent le sol et se répandent dans la terre désormais incandescente. Devant l'ampleur de son action, je demeure immobile et me tais. Le rouge dresse son joug au dehors et au dedans. Il poursuit son action sans relâche, attise chaque chose, chaque instant qu'il effleure. S'il veut survivre, le corps doit se joindre à lui, fouler le rouge et en faire son propre territoire. De jour en jour, la couleur se concentre, la forme se répète, l'intensité s'accentue. Les mouvements du corps s'accumulent et se dispersent comme les pages d'une éphéméride. À l'intérieur du carré rouge, la souffrance ne connaît pas de répit ni d'échappatoire. Elle accapare l'instant et ne le lâchera plus.
This just in from the Angel Wire. They buried the dead and returned to the line. The innermost were exempt while the outermost were obliged. They knew what they were. They wore lights fastened to their heads when they lay in bed at night and grew accustomed to seeing mottled halos as they drifted to sleep. There were the angels whose wings itched and the ones who felt perfectly fine in their wings. There was no itch cream for the first kind. One angel in particular disliked the word feather and called them flutterwafts instead. They would have made fart jokes, but had no a-holes. The adolescent angel was going through angel puberty. He or she did not understand these new feelings, hate, kindness. A dun halo surfaced. She was 3.5 years old and had never been out of her earthly cage until this moment. She didn't recognize she or he was being called when Gabriel arrived to pick her up. She had no idea what she was. This one angel liked to spit. She was pretty good at it and would spit into clouds until they took the shape of genitalia. God liked it. They squeezed him through a shattered hole in the car window. He bled memories onto window shards to be studied under auto shop microscopes. Angels were heard through Mr. Muffler's stethoscope. The angel who was a social columnist had eyebrows so angular that it made her mouth appear to triangulate every time she spoke, and they made her eyes completely invisible. A dirty person recites mentally but not out loud. A dirty person does not recite mentally before or after eating. A dirty person is silent, but still audible to the vulgar angels. The ones that came out wrong. The ones that are always friendly, despite the fact that they are slow, stunted, inelegant, marred. These ones are angels. The one alienated angel at Angel High School listened to gothic human music, smoked white hashish from a polluted bong, wore torn feathers. The laws concerning sleeping in the Angel Hotel are fixed only in regard to 1, the nature of dreaming, 2, sounds, 3, the blueness of angels. When the one dour angel had nightmares, low-pitched sounds emanated from her gutus angelus until Teutonic punk rock was spurred below. The angel was known to cut him or herself in the grade 8 bathrooms. The 8th graders could hear the sadness whistle through gashed calamine. Because angels are spiritual rather than physical entities, they needn't appear graceful and lithe, the horny seraphim kept telling itself. The pixie wasn't afraid of the angel. The pixie stepped into the bar and told the angel to go to hell. Livid, the angel self-immolated. 16 generations gone since she was last an angel. Here she is again, on earth, remembering. She sees a bird. Her vestigial wings grow hard. In the high school basement, behind iron doors, in the boiler room, behind the boiler, beneath a thick skin of dust felt, my teen angels sleep.
In the continuous present, it's always someplace, sometimes sounds blown white, like these bulrushes come of age, with ivory horns. Our eyes must attune to the full spectrum, white, flowering light, from the heavens from which this toad, looking very much like Sartre, rolls his R's in the French manner. Do we think it stolid and atonal, this cacophony of cicadas that anticipates the computer voice? Darkening sky, sonorous with geese migrating, returning, these, that arcane architecture of wings, or small birds singing, chérie, 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 endearing itself, while insect systems reiterate, etc., etc., etc. Moon rising above fur, making the darkness in the trees taller, and the tides the moon tugs along our line of primordial seas, an amorphous cry of dinosaur or cougar through the throat of an eagle, while over the roof of the Natural History Museum, an angel brandishes a blazing pitchfork. For rain during drought, for ice, it is hail, it is praise, it is a blessing whatever survives when breathing dust or topsoil in the teeth of depression winds, and the straw stirs in prairie idiom. Rising. Rising above. Welcoming sky, and the tides above primordial dust, or top straw, survives hail. It is the ancestral and ancient
life of the mind, wanders. A wrecked edifice wavers in a puddle, shoes and gravel, the leather sucking water. There is beauty everywhere in this city, history everywhere, a pit that held a bear before the war. Most cut through on their way from the Gare d'Austerlitz to work. The crêpes have been stacked. Jars of Nutella fog the glass. That thing at the center? A monumental cube, not forever but millennial, soon gone. Its inner sand does not run. Cropped limbs and statues, months before the chestnut trees let rise their rose plumes. Apollo could not take her. She was already other. Somewhere a turnstile, the great apes, the great cats. It is almost yesterday. Sometimes a little rain falls through. A labyrinth in which it's difficult to lose oneself. Along the Seine in summer for a month, there is a beach.
Buy me a pony, narcissism. I went to research the renovations Versailles went through in the early 80s. The Bergerac room shut forever to visitors, but a better cafe in the North Court. All the books stacked neatly on my desk, feeling comfortable with the verb essai. I ended up just going onto Google Chat to talk about writing with a friend. I mean, going into a Star Trek chat room just to exclaim the Salt Demon episode. Isn't that the story of all our lives? As if you aren't ruled by fantasy. I know the Hall of Mirrors knows no shame. The pragmatism of the dermatologist is incumbent on the patient's make-believe. I dare you to pretend acne will not kill you. Il Metropole dance. And of course, bienvenue au Montréal, the Quebec City of bigger cities. The windy poutine, the nation's capital, home of the St. Louis Cardinals, turtleneck vendor to the world, quality astrology convention island, where both coffee and cafe are overpriced and served with a distinct Euro sass. Birthplace of the Denver omelet, cradle of failed revenge plots, mother of Celine, father of the sexclamation mark, oh yes, and final resting spot of the Nimitz, where it didn't matter what Hamlet said, if the dollar made you wish you were dead, where I dunked my bagels into the wreck and I tweeted out a hallelujah.
Swings wide, and Scrabble game in hand, you've come to conquer. But this is my forte, my lascivious grad school girl. Don't fret. I'll leave no teeth marks on your neck. I can't sink in. A wife I have, and am. We have a life. But too soon this false bravado fades, my sad resolve as senseless as the shopkeep's bienvenue. If I could keep my eyes on your mouth, and not your ear, your chin, the line that draws me to the cleave of your blue blouse, I might have half a chance. But no. The beaded strings, earrings, the timbre of your laugh, and I'm cast off, adrift. I float down the main, glass baubles bobbing over espresso waves. But why resolve? In this, the summer of my 31st year, I'm half a continent from home, living single for the first, possibly last time in my life. A student in Leonard Cohen's town, stone-laid avenues, reading poems in cafes and bars. Flirt? How could I not? You talk Toronto for high holidays. How harmless. I'm listening, yes. Trying not to imagine you there. Finally, you lay out the game. An upturned boat, my nostrils tingling with you, sneezing. You offer me tissue, offer me coffee, offer me your laugh. How do you know exactly what I lack? Reach out so instinctively, so easily. The way your elbow rests in the strut of your flattened hand, your fingertips undo me. Got to remember who I am. Remember cabin, garden, chickens. How I love naked walking to the bathhouse. How even in winter I kept the door open and from the steaming tub hoped to catch a grazing doe. I tell you of my pining, but it's more a reminder than even I can admit. At least in this moment, the sun, the Maine, the calzone, the cafe, there's nowhere else. But look at you. Not yet 30. This is just a game. Level-headed, you'll return to the family way. Marry a doctor, lawyer, propagate, worship your career, travel once a year someplace safe, and remember me fondly from your untamed student days.
Nous avons tous rêvé de vivre, d'être visibles comme les ruines de la Terre. Le cœur, accélérateur d'intensité, gîte ailleurs, malgré ce que nous montrent les photographies. Quelque part, écrivant, le bleu encore autour de la douleur, le bleu ancien comme la gravité de la Terre. Les ombres de toi vues au cinéma me sont encore collées aux paupières. Et aussi, tes larmes, exactement. Un autre ciel, un autre poème. Le cinéma était né un jour pour nous qui ne savions pas que le noir plaisir et le sombre réel étaient des inventions anciennes. Commerce des formes. Le désir était externe, parce que les personnages ne cessaient de bouger entre nous et les événements principaux de l'univers. Nous étions tout ce qu'on comptait de vivant, parce que la Terre, qui tournait en même temps que nous, était l'image de ce qui restait de vous. Même lumière, même éternité qui passait sans nous voir. Le cinéma faisait de chacun de nous un autre que nous. Mon âme est-elle complète quand je te regarde? Je permets à la tristesse d'être complice, d'envahir mon lit. Jeune homme, n'ignore pas le mot guerre. Puisse ta tête être pleine de langues slaves et de tatouages. J'ai pensé parler de l'amour avec toutes sortes de choses plantées dans ma gorge.
Rainbow. A photograph fans out the bright contents of the 6-month plover's gut, the last 100 things it ate, dead lighters, crushed glass, cigarettes, until no room. We do wrong, and yet that reek of alley rot, puke, tunnel-pent air I love because New York, London, Paris. 5 times the fish says yes to the hook, no to the tug, 5 times keeps what's given, and so the poet lets it go into wallpaper, similes, feathers, into the greasy rainbow. Can art cancel ruin? Who am I to gulp the world and live? Life of the mind, tapestry. One makes a way. It takes the shape of pears, of mammals with spines, of eggs containing mammals that lay eggs. Buds swell to nipples clung to by rain. The true collector detaches the object from its functional relations. The world is present and indeed ordered in each of his objects. Matryoshka dolls rest inside themselves, unshelled. Plush with wet, the mat of astroturf darkens beyond lawn, lives as the tapestry lived when unhung. This world is big and so awake. The tapestry photographed in squares, shifting as it settles, an undone puzzle. Rain stain on the pine. This is life, not your life. Laughter flickers in the bushes. Just try to arrange it.
I've already lived my life. Before the iPhone came, we lived like pigs, barely able to resist fratricide. I'm honestly amazed I survived before, what with all that listening to people. When the flood of favorite apps came to me, I let the flow take me to wherever it wanted. I could be anywhere, looking at pictures of drunk people on the internet. I could see the friend at the masquerade and how some HuffPost thing was liked 12 times. I could listen to that message, you know, from the taxi with the laughing in the back. Best of all, I could set the temperature to Fahrenheit and pretend to be normal. I hold my iPhone to my chest to pray for the thousands of texts I've deleted.
You invite me for dinner, a party to follow. Swollen-tongued, I nod my acceptance, a waft of chlorine suddenly filling my nose. Metal rungs, extremely slippery. No handrail. Suddenly, my brow, my breast wet. Suddenly, a belly flop of sky, and dizzy. There's your hand again. Did anyone notice how close our knees are? Did the light turn apricot to emphasize your eyes? Are you a plot against my past? Color and curl designed to entice me from my path? The questions logjam. Is your hair heavy? How do you comb it? Were you born with it like that? Do people touch it on the street? Does it cushion your head at night? Does it shape your dreams? How do you sleep? Or, more precisely, will you sleep with me? If I slip now, if my tongue is brash, if my thoughts betray, if my feet numb, if I fall, if the shell cracks, if my tongue, if our knees touch, if words fail, if our eyes meet, if my heart softens, if the sun, if tongue, if word, if numb, if heart, skin, tongue, word, embrace, fall, I will deny it all. If words fail, if our eyes fall, if I fall, I will deny it now. If my tongue is brash, if numb, if my thoughts betray, if tongue betrays, if my feet numb, if word, if I fall, if cracks, I will deny it all. If my tongue, if our eyes crack, our knees touch, if my tongue, if words fail, if our knees touch, our eyes.
If you are the nundum of the cipher of a void, of a hole, if you are skeletal and wormy only when you go out in public, if you like to wear a black windbreaker to prevent your bones from whistling, if you are sometimes mistaken for an FBI agent, if you are not really a single entity, not an adequate object of address, if you have eyes, if you have something instead of eyes, if you are grim, grimy, or if you grin, are grinny, if you play, if you pretend for the sake of another, if you can hear me when I talk to you walking home from work, if you mispronounce the title of the book of Job just to belittle the questions therein, if you began as an idea or a necessity, if you dream of loss, if once you had doubts, a feeling of bittersweet regret, if you are of an embrace or of a kiss, if you are ubiquitous, pervasive or general, if you are ever summoned, if you proceed by intuition, if you felt, if some pain, if some sorrow, if you were just the messenger, if you are eternal, if at first you were the color of light, if you, death, desire, if you go to the museum and feel you have come home, if you are an itinerant folk singer, if you remember who you were, if there is warmth and love from here that eases delivery into you, if you understand, if you mean, if you're just doing your job, if you are unfairly stigmatized, if you work with your hands, if you refer to anything that is actually there, if you take the bull by the horns, if you are motivated, if you can get satisfaction, if you are fulfilling the great purpose of something, 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 if you have a special posture, if you have suggestive intonation, if you are felt by all creatures, if you appear in dreams by your own volition, if you fly, if you have human ears, if you perceive time, if you have a human comprehension mode, if you understand the conditional, if you know knowledge, if you engage in euphemism, if you walk like a shroud on wheels, if you know, if you sit, if you kneel, if you recline, if you lie, if you know anything, if you remember anything, anything at all about him. Know anything. If you remember anything. At all. If you appear in dreams by your own volition, you can fly. If you are of the
Je n'ai jamais fait face au noir, car le noir n'occupe jamais un seul côté du monde. Il apparaît devant, alors qu'il remue derrière. Il s'étend sur la gauche, pendant qu'il infiltre le sud. Le noir est une île dont on ne quitte jamais le centre. Il suffit de peu pour qu'une couleur vire au noir, pour qu'elle se replie et s'enfonce dans la nudité du regard. En un instant, cette couleur se soustrait à toute prise. Le noir ouvre sur une profondeur sans mesure du proche et du lointain, du présent et du passé. Il porte en lui la fragilité des renversements aveugles. Poser la mine de plomb sur l'ardoise et laisser courir les mouvements circulaires. Un alphabet neuf jaillit d'une mémoire arrondie par le temps. La rondeur du geste rejoint celle de la chair. Elle imprègne la matière d'un savoir intime, lisible dans l'abandon du jour. Telle une veuve sans voix, je revais le noir pour me frotter au noir, pour réduire la distance qui m'en sépare. Je porte le noir pour tenter de comprendre l'autre et me faire comprendre comme un autre. Cela exige de la concentration et un effort constant, car le noir ne se laisse pas approcher. Il refuse la séduction et la protection. J'ouvre les yeux et c'est l'obscurité, totale et muette. Les mains s'avancent et inventent un langage qui s'adresse à cet espace ni ouvert, ni fermé. Le corps contient sa part de noir qu'il relâche au cours de ses rêves. Cette part, engagée dans le monde, forme des nuits indéterminées. L'opacité tend un rideau où se projettent des êtres et des voix. Dans la mêlée, des figures devenues lointaines côtoient les nœuds de ma mémoire. Ils se fondent dans le noir comme un carré de sucre au milieu d'un bol d'encre. La main saisit le crayon et s'emporte. Ne plus de pages, ne plus de surface vierge, ne plus de vide, aucune forme, aucune note, pas une trace ne peut survivre à un tel déversement de graphite. Les mots sont noyés dans la masse. La pointe gratte, gratte, gratte. Elle répand le sang noir d'une parole outrée par l'absence.
Time to reach us. So Claude Jutra disappeared around the same time as you, but he had Alzheimer's. Your dis-ease was different, a surfeit of memory. I read about it in the Globe, in the Star. You never answered your phone, our letters, the ad in the paper, missing you. On an evening called Hallowed, I was dressed as the devil. Little ghouls queued for nothing much, molasses kisses, candied apples. And now, when I cut a grin from the orange flesh of a pumpkin, when I scoop out the seeds and lower a candle into its cranium, when I put a lid on it, I think of you, that lid. I think of you, that light. And I haven't forgotten Claude Jutra either. Spring hauled his body out of the St. Lawrence with name and address scrawled on a piece of paper in his pocket, like a child who can't be trusted to find his way home. I guess then some fisherman would discover you on the last page, duplicating another destiny, dissipated not by despair, but by technique.
Death be not proud, but really, who could blame you? I mean, come on, you're death. I hope I don't die of kidney disease, but I have eaten a cookie the size of a birthday cake, so I will not feign surprise about my possible fate. I hope I don't die of liver disease, but I have seen East Delaware City and Pittsburgh in my drunkest winter. What more could I really expect from life? Here's to the beers, not the ones shared with friends, but the ones downed in Mexican bathrooms, or raised high in naval cemeteries and chugged alongside the Suez Canal. To the beers during our business meetings, the ones while attending vernissages, private christenings, and dance recitals. As if one could kill the pain of dance recitals.
date lament. The monkey is late. We said 11, but here it is, noon already. A Dakshin passes, a man with a tabby in his rucksack staring back. I wear my grandmother's coat with the fox collar. Am I wrong? If only he'd wear the watch I got him. The table's taken, the folded card that marked it ours, pocketed by the garçon now out back on break, rolling a quick joint. Never again will the world tilt invincibly in its dome of falling sky. The cloisters. We leaned the door of broad wood planks open. The garden drew us out, an early blooming. Were those cinquefoil? At the center, a medieval fountain frothed up north of Haarlem water. Just like Europe, we almost believed ourselves. Was that cinquefoil? The photographs would not be like this. We were already remembering the perfect day.
Au cœur du noir, l'espoir d'une lumière, noire peut-être, parmi ce noir, me maintient présent. L'éclat d'une chaleur, si petite soit-elle, qui se retourne vers moi et accompagne ma descente, marche après marche après marche. Avant même de fermer les yeux, il est déjà là. Il se développe, se transforme dans le mouvement des choses et des heures. Il n'a besoin de rien ni de personne. Il creuse la matière et les corps, fouille sans cesse l'épaisseur du monde. Le noir porte un silence troublant qui fait surgir la vulnérabilité de la chair. Le noir repousse les illusions sur lesquelles on s'appuie pour engourdir le sentiment de solitude, lorsque le sentiment de solitude est trop aigu. Derrière le noir, il n'y a pas autre chose, mais un autre noir. Je ne peux faire face au noir parce qu'il me met face à moi-même.
Et aussi un petit mot pour aussi un remerciement à Michael Montanaro à la création de tout ce spectacle, à Jérôme Delapierre pour la création visuelle, à Navid Navad pour la création sonore et à Tim Roderick pour l'éclairage. Et nous vous invitons à une autre édition de Montréal à travers les yeux de Concordia l'an prochain. Merci.